Welcome to the Explainer. Today, we're unpacking the architectural blueprint for building rock-solid communication plans under the ISO/IEC 42001-2023 standard. Having the best security controls in place, that's really only half the battle. The other half, the absolutely crucial half, is making sure the exact right information actually flows to the right people.
Okay, let's dive into this with a little scenario. Imagine a critical security incident strikes your organization right this very second. Ask yourself, who knows what? And honestly, more importantly, when do they know it? Are your engineers finding out at the exact same time as your external regulators? Are your senior leaders completely in the dark while the factory floor is scrambling? It's a high-stakes question, for sure, and it's exactly why we need a structured plan.
So to solve this, we really need to look at what a communication protocol actually is within the context of ISO/IEC 42001-2023. I want you to think of it as the central nervous system of your information security management system, your ISMS. Just like your body relies on its nervous system to send these lightning-fast, vital signals from your brain to your limbs, to instantly pull your hand away from a hot stove, your organization relies on communication protocols. They're what ensure the right people get the exact right information right at the critical moment.
Here's our roadmap for today's explainer. We'll start with the ISMS nervous system, move into core communication principles, look at documenting performance and risks, tackle incident response and reporting, and finally wrap up with sustaining the feedback loop.
All right, Section 1, the ISM's nervous system. We're looking at information as those vital nerve signals. You see, compliance communication isn't just administrative overhead. It's literally the lifeblood of your operation. And when we contrast effective versus ineffective communication, well, the difference is pretty stark. Effective communication, it acts as fast, crystal clear signals that enable really swift, informed decisions. But on the flip side, slow, vague, or misdirected information is kind of like a blocked nerve. It paralyzes your response, it puts the entire organizational body at risk, and it leaves you with unmanaged threats and missed opportunities.
Let's move to Section 2, core communication principles. We're talking about the 4 pillars here.
Our very first pillar is clarity and accuracy. Communication has to be completely unambiguous, no errors. Why? Because management bases their major, high-stakes decisions on this data. Think about a manufacturing environment, for example. A solid communication protocol might require daily production reports, right? Well, these need to explicitly track metrics, things like units produced, downtime, quality issues. If that data is even a little vague or inaccurate, the decisions based on it are going to be flawed, and the whole system suffers.
Pillar 2 is timeliness. So the crucial point is that delayed information simply means unmanaged risks. If a system failure or performance deviation occurs, your protocol has to dictate exactly when and how that's communicated. Like implementing automated alerts for system failures ensures your technicians are notified instantly. That's how you stop a minor hiccup from cascading into a major breach.
Now, pillar number 3 is relevance. You definitely don't want to overwhelm your entire staff with data they don't need, but you also can't starve your decision makers of context. Information has to be tailored to the recipient. For instance, a factory floor supervisor absolutely needs granular, highly detailed production data to run their shift, but senior management, they need high-level performance summaries to guide overall strategy. A good protocol basically acts as a filter, routing the exact right resolution of data to the right desk.
And our final pillar is confidentiality. Your communication protocols absolutely must rigorously protect sensitive data from unauthorized access. Just think about financial data, or personal employee info, or internal audit results. This is highly classified material within your ISMS. So your protocol has to explicitly outline exactly how this information is shared. We're talking encrypted channels or secure internal servers, and ensure it literally only ever reaches the authorized parties. Which brings us to Section 3, documenting performance and risks. Let's construct the matrix.
The standard actually demands a specific documented protocol matrix, and this brilliantly illustrates how it breaks down. Look at performance protocols. The objective there is tracking optimization, right? The responsibility falls to department heads, and they use channels like reports and monthly management meetings, typically on a daily or monthly frequency. Meanwhile, risk protocols focus heavily on identification and mitigation. Those are owned by the risk manager, routed through secure email, and usually done on a quarterly basis. The beauty here is that everything is defined. Everyone knows their exact job.
Zooming in on risk for a second, ISO/IEC 42001-2023 has some very specific requirements you have to document. First up, quarterly risk assessment reports. These detail identified risks, impacts, and mitigation measures, and they go straight to senior leadership. Second, you need clear escalation procedures. If a high-impact risk pops up, there must be documented steps for immediately notifying the top brass. No guessing allowed. And third, organization-wide risk communication training. Literally, every single employee needs to understand exactly how to spot and report issues.
Okay, Section 4, Incident Response and Reporting. This is where every second truly counts.
Just look at the sheer urgency dictated by these timelines. At time zero, a security breach is detected. Boom, the clock immediately starts ticking. You have just 30 minutes, and let's be honest, that can feel like 30 seconds when panic sets in, to ensure all your key internal stakeholders are notified. But wait, it doesn't stop there. If the incident meets certain criteria, you might only have 24 hours to execute your external regulatory reporting to the relevant authorities. Pulling off this kind of timeline, it requires absolutely flawless orchestration.
So to actually meet those strict timelines, your incident response team has to follow clear, documented communication steps. Step 1, immediate notification using secure messaging platforms. This gets the right eyes on the problem instantly, but without exposing sensitive details. Step 2, providing regular, structured updates via email and internal incident management systems. This keeps the broader organization and leadership in the loop without, causing widespread panic. And step 3, once the dust finally settles, soliciting post-incident feedback to refine and improve the whole communication process for the next time around. Finally, Section 5, sustaining the feedback loop. Let's talk about continuous improvement.
Communication is definitely not a one-way street. It requires active listening. The standard actually mandates continuous improvement. And to pull that off, you need documented feedback mechanisms. This means doing things like utilizing employee surveys after you roll out a new security policy, just to ensure it was actually understood. It means conducting internal compliance audits to verify that the protocols we so carefully designed are actually being followed out there in the real world. And it means holding post-incident follow-up meetings to dissect exactly what went wrong, what went right, and how well your communication channels held up under fire.
This quote from the standard really drives the ultimate goal home. It says, "Communication procedures enable all stakeholders to stay informed while ensuring that management is fully engaged in the security process." By documenting these clear objectives, roles, channels, and feedback loops, you're doing so much more than just checking a compliance box. You are literally building a culture of profound trust and accountability across your entire organization.
So what does this all mean for you? Well, here is the big question. Is your organization's nervous system truly ready to respond and protect its most vital assets the next time an incident strikes? I highly encourage you to take these blueprints and honestly evaluate your readiness today. That's a wrap for this explainer. Thanks for joining us, and keep learning.